At the end of the day, though, the entrepreneurial spirit is so strong and alive in this industry. And we have the good fortune of working in an asset class that is so meaningful. I don't believe technology will replace the human part of the process. A house, whether it's an investment or your primary or whatever it may be, I mean, you make a mistake, that could be pretty painful. So this business will survive and thrive in a way that looks pretty similar today, in my opinion. I just think that there's going to be further consolidation within the industry. I think a franchisee is the classic, entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
That comes with sales, that at some point in their careers felt like, I want to lead people and I love this industry. And so they sought to start their own company and decided that Coldwell Banker was the best business partner, and then built their businesses. And so, at the heart of both sides, it's really that entrepreneurial spirit that really is the common denominator. It's just a different path. And it's been a blast because I've operated in every aspect. My family, we owned and operated an independent brokerage that started in Portland, Oregon in 1955. We then became a Prudential franchise in the mid 90s. Prudential exited the real estate business. We became a Berkshire Hathaway home services company. Then we sold the Home Services of America. So then I worked for them. And, after 30 years with one company, even though it touched different brands, at the core was one company, I made the decision to pursue this opportunity 2 years ago. And so it's been, that was a pretty monumental decision, as you can imagine. And, but it's been a great ride. This network has been so good to me, and hopefully I've given at least half back of what it's given me.
Well, I love hanging out with you. I love being around you and just watching you network through the room, lead the room, because you really do a great job when you're speaking and when your leadership skills, because you keep it long enough to cover the important stuff and short enough to keep it interesting. And you are really, really good at, and I follow you on social media, and a lot of your posts are about leadership and growth. And I feel like that kind of is your heart, is this leadership and growth path. It's almost like everybody you touch, that's your goal, is how can I help them grow? How can I help them become a better leader? Am I on the right track, or am I just seeing something that's not there?
No, 100%. And I will tell you what my father said to me and what his mentor said to him, because he started in sales too before he transitioned into management and then ownership. And the owner of that company said to him, Bert, you could impact more lives running this organization than you can any one buyer or seller at one time. And for him, that was the hook. And he is the quintessential servant leader. And so I've had a great role model up close. He said those same words to me, and it resonated. And that's the impact I wanted to take my career in, versus just individual sales for my personal brand and business. And so it was just a choice that resonated with, I guess, my DNA, if you will.
I love that. Well, there's a lot going on in the real estate industry. And, people would say that I was being soft on the interview if I didn't say, hey, what do you think about everything that's going on? There's lots going on. And you are in a position of, over these franchisees, over these kind of independent, companies. Where do you see the real estate industry going? What is the benefit, I guess, and what is the future landscape of the real estate brokerage, the way that they're owned, the way that they're run? Where do you see that going?
Yeah, I think we'll see continued consolidation like we've seen in other industries. I mean,
Yeah.
candidly, this industry is just probably playing catch up from that perspective. When you look at hospitality, you look at the automobile industry, I mean, so much consolidation, brands that have multiple brands. So I think we'll see continued consolidation. At the end of the day, though, the entrepreneurial spirit is so strong and alive in this industry. And we have the good fortune of working in an asset class that is so meaningful. The experience is so important and so meaningful. I don't believe technology will replace the human part of the process. It's not like if ski season's upon us, if I needed new skis and boots and an outfit, I run out and get all that. And I get on the chairlift for the first time and I realize, God, these boots are uncomfortable. No way I'm going to survive a day. It's unfortunate. I spent, $1,000 on all this, but I can survive that. A house, whether it's an investment or your primary or whatever it may be. I mean, you make a mistake, that could be pretty painful. And so the professional guidance that will never be replicated by a machine or somebody that you don't have a relationship with it's just too important. So this business will survive and thrive in a way that looks pretty similar today, in my opinion. I just think that there's going to be further consolidation within the industry, which again, you're probably playing catch up to some other industries where it's already been accelerated through the years.
But I think it's great. I'll be honest with you. I think there is so much opportunity. Whatever business model you pick is whatever business model you pick. Some agents want the least expensive. They want to pay the least expensive fees. They want to do everything themselves. Some agents want done for you. Some brokerages run traditionally. Some brokerages run in a fee structure. I think that there is something for everybody, no matter what you're looking for as an agent. I guess maybe my next question is, what is the biggest challenge for you? Is it with the from a brokerage? Is it from agents? Like, what are and when you look at your week, you look at your month, where is the place where you think, oh, this is going to be dicey? Like, where's the challenge?
Well, challenges are all around us, but if you peel back the onion, and I try to keep things very simple. I mean, I think we can tend to overcomplicate things, and through analysis, we get to this place of paralysis. And I try to just be very pragmatic and very simple in how I approach things. And at the end of the day, I think it all boils down to self-awareness. I mean, if I ever write a book, it's going to be on self-awareness. I think it's the one attribute that separates, all of us and separates success from struggle, is really having clarity around who you are, who you want to be, and what you do and how you do it. So, yes, there is space and room for multiple business models. What you have to do is commit to who you are, who you want to be, what experience you want to create for your customer base. And then you got to bring the enthusiasm every single day and be grateful for those opportunities. You do that, you're going to enjoy more success than you ever expected. So the challenge, I think, for any leader in any industry is, and I think leadership is always about modeling the right behavior, which includes the right attitude. And so keeping people in the proper headspace, I think, is the ultimate challenge, and getting them to see the opportunities rather than the obstacles. So it's, I talk an awful lot about what separates success and struggle, in my opinion, is our internal map. And that's our mindset, our attitude, our perspective. Because one of my mentors said to me that, and I'll never, ever forget this, and I say it and repeat it over and over and over again: control your controllables. focus on the things you can influence and impact. And those are internal. It's our mindset, our attitude, our perspective. We have zero control on external stuff. And so what the Fed's going to do in their next meeting with interest rates, we can all speculate. I won't spend any time giving any thought because I can't influence or impact it.
Yeah. My crystal ball is foggy every day except today. I mean, it's like, what the hell? I had a coach that said to me, I'll never forget this, probably some of the best advice I ever got. And that was, if you can control your time, your money, and your emotions, you can master anything. And that stuck with me. And when I implemented that into my daily life, into my business, it really changed the trajectory of my business and of my life. Because I had never really thought about my ability to control those things. Yeah. And so I think you're exactly right. Mindset.
Well, you have such an inspiring story, and you shared that with me, and I'll respect that in confidence in on our drive there from San Diego to LA. But I mean, I know you've practiced that. It's one thing to be told that, but then to actually execute against that, I know you have, and you're an inspiration. And I know you know that. I hope you know that. But I know you live those principles as well.
I try. It's funny. I was on a call today, leading a call, and I made the comment: people don't need more knowledge; they need more action. Like. It's 2025, for God's sake. We're almost in 2026. Like, there isn't anything you can't chat GPT or Google to figure out how to do it. You don't need more knowledge. You need more action. And, it's so funny putting people in the right place to know self-awareness, know your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And when you figure out what your weaknesses are, put somebody in place to execute. So like for me, I can see the vision, I can see the idea, like this is what I want to do, but I don't want to micromanage it. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to tell you what I want done, and you do it. Yeah. That's my deal. And and I'm very clear. I was talking to a videographer today, and I said to him, I said, look, I want to do this and on video, and he's like, well, how involved do you want to be? I said, I don't. Like, literally, like, I want to, this is my concept.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in. I'm going to do the voiceover. I'm going to come in with the story, lickety split, and you're going to make it all come together. And he's like, I've never had anybody that gave me that much creative control. And I'm like, buddy, you go right ahead. Cause I know he does. And this is the thing, is like, when you're trying to control somebody else, you're literally strangling them from their own genius, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's so funny. And I've referenced my dad multiple times, and I'll stop. This is the last Burt Waugh story, but I can tell you exactly where we were. We were in this stretch of highway between the town I grew up in and the neighboring town, and I was in high school. And I'm not sure what led to the conversation, but here's the statement: surround yourself with people that are better than you and smarter than you, and it will always work out for you. And I've just, since high school, I've remembered that, and I've always tried to apply that. And I've had the good fortune of surrounding myself with people that are better than me and smarter than me, and it just has, worked out. So I think, having, you got to have self-confidence, but you got to balance that, keep that ego at home when you leave for the day, and know that there's people out there that are smarter than you and better than you. Seek out those people, put them around you, and let them do what they do best, and you all win. So probably the best piece of advice I've ever gotten.